Exactly. So let's move on to the actual mechanical lift. This is a hot topic right now for today, and it's an important stop. It's a major stop for me as an instructor because using a mechanical lift is not a part of the skill set in the CNA program. You learn about the mechanical lift, but you don't actually have to demonstrate how to use it in the state of Tennessee when you're taking the state exam. So this is why I do a hard stop on this mechanical lift so that you can be safe when you are integrating out into the healthcare field. Number one, when you are using a mechanical lift, how many people must there always be? Two. It must always be two people. Under no circumstances should you be operating this lift alone, because you can hurt yourself and you can also hurt the patient. And as we know, this mechanical lift and a CNA that was using it alone is going viral right now on TikTok. I want to share with you all at this moment, if you stay true to your training, you don't ever have to worry about violating any policies or any procedures. It's important that you know that these lifts have to be maintenance on a regular schedule. You need to be aware of the weight. We're gonna come over to the lift, and this lift, can somebody tell me what's the weight limit on this lift? 450. So can you put somebody on here that weighs 451 pounds? No. Because the lift cannot sustain that weight. So you have to make sure that you check your resident's weight prior to you using it, and you make sure that the lift can accommodate the weight. Not all lifts can accommodate 450 pounds. The next thing you want to do is make sure that you have the appropriate size sling on the lift. If you have a small resident, can you use a large sling on a resident that's small? No. Can you use a small sling on a resident that's large? No. You have to choose the appropriate size sling to attach to the lift. You're going to attach 2 hooks on the sling to this portion of the lift, and you're going to attach the other 2 portions of the sling on this portion of the lift. When you're placing the hooks on the sling, the hooks are color coded, so you want to make sure that you're using the same color when you are attaching the sling to the hooks all the way around. You want to be mindful that the battery is operating. As I shared before, you don't want to get your patient up and the patient gets stuck in the lift because the battery does not have any power or is not charged. And we can look here. This is where the battery should be put in place. So we see that this lift may not be working because there is no battery. Now, just in case there is an emergency, there are emergency buttons that you can pull that will release the lift. So this is what a mechanical lift looks like for the state exam. You need to know that you need to verify the patient's weight against the lift. You need to use the appropriate size sling on the lift, and you need to also utilize the brakes that are here on the lift. It's important that you also have a charged battery. So this lift, let's see if this lift has a battery in place so you can see how it looks. This is a Dynamap. It's not part of the lift, but we can see here this lift has a battery intact. So we can expect for this lift to work if we were to utilize it. It's not charged. So here, this sling, all of the lifts have the ability for you to attach the sling. Now, when that young lady was dropped in this viral case that's going on right now, more than likely she fell up against these bars. Now, touch these bars, see how hard they are. So if you fall onto these bars, it can cause damage like it did to that patient that unfortunately experienced that fall. These lifts are supposed to be serviced for, a certain amount of time. So different facilities have different schedules when the lift is supposed to be serviced. You want to make sure that you're operating a working lift. You want to make sure that the lift that you're operating is not tilting over, that the lift is stable before you even use it, and that you have a working battery so that the patient doesn't get, stuck. And then you're able to open the legs on the lift using this handle. First, I would lock it. And then if you wanted to open the legs on the lift to get the lift around like that chair, you would use this level, and then to close the legs, you would move the level to the opposite side. You always want to utilize the brakes. The lift, you need training. That's what you're receiving right now, to understand how important it is to know how to accurately operate this lift, so that when you're operating the lift, you're not hurting someone, okay? I'm sure it wasn't her intention to try and hurt that patient. Regardless of the staffing situation in the facility that you may be working in, how many people needs to work this lift? 2. And if there are not 2 people, can you utilize this lift? No, you cannot. All right, so if you stay true to your training, you don't have to worry about going viral on Facebook or TikTok for what this lady is going viral for, improperly using this lift. You are to have 2 people at all times. Somebody actually died because somebody was using the lift alone. Okay?